The reigning champion and the current championship leader in Formula One racing, Max Verstappen, has been driving in imperious form this year and is easily leading the championship. And he is just driving the wheels off his car right now. But the question we are interested in trying to answer is whether Max Verstappen is also driving up TAG Heuer prices. And so we'll get into some of the data that we have that we can use to attempt to answer that question. All the numbers in this video come from WatchCharts.com. Are you looking to browse listings from the biggest private sales marketplaces across the web? See insights on whether you're getting a good deal or not. Manage your collection and track its value over time? You can do all this and more on WatchCharts.com, the world's most powerful watch market research platform. Dive into the data yourself at WatchCharts.com. TAG Heuer has had a relationship with the team that Max Verstappen drives for, Red Bull, since at least 2018. And when Max Verstappen won his first championship in 2021, he received this tricked out DLC titanium Monaco chronograph with 1 as the subdial at 6 o'clock. By convention in Formula One, only the current champion or the reigning champion is allowed to run the number 1 on his car. Verstappen, whose actual race number is 33, decided to switch to number 1 for the 2022 season. And so that's the watch that he wore for most of that year. And then this year, he's been sporting one of the new chronographs that TAG Heuer has made that are very limited in production and are being marketed as a champion exclusive, but are still listed on TAG Heuer's website, strangely. And the question that obviously begs is, this guy is running at the top of his game and is setting records every time he steps out onto the racetrack. How much really does TAG benefit from being right there, top and front and center on the car and in all of the advertising around Formula One? We can try and answer that question in a few different ways. The first one that I would suggest we look at is the limited edition that TAG Heuer did with Max Verstappen back in 2018. It was a 43 millimeter monstrosity that came out as a limited edition of 1,300 pieces and retailed for $2,600. That's not essentially where this watch trades. Today it trades at a considerable discount. But the other thing we can do is try and map how the TAG Heuer market index that we publish on our site, which shows the market price evolution for the 30 most popular TAG Heuer references on the secondary market against Max Verstappen's career. And so if we start in early 2021, that first date that's highlighted is the start of the season, and then the second red dot is the end of the season. For 2021, Max won the championship at that last race. But then next year, the first blue dot is him signing a contract with Red Bull to stay on at the team until 2028. And the red dot is the start of the season. But of course, as we know, most of 2022, the market was in decline. And so TAG Heuer was no different. Even though Max won the championship in October, which is that second blue dot that you see within 2022, prices continued to fall after that. But the interesting coincidence then is the last race of the season is essentially when the market bottoms out. And so at this point, Max was, declared sort of champion and the season was over. And there's still an official prize giving ceremony in December, but it's curious how the timing lines up there with TAG Heuer starting to see a resurgence in their market index. And then of course, that final red dot in 2023 is the start of the season. Since then, Max has won 10 races on a trot now, which is an all-time record in Formula One. And so he is out there all by himself at this stage. But of course, we can take a slightly longer term view as well to see beyond just the last, let's say, a year and a half since Max has been winning championships, how the market has performed overall and then how TAG has done. So over the last 3 years, the overall market index is up about 15.6%. Of course, this is very heavily weighted towards the big 3 brands. And then TAG is only up about 6%. So over that larger time frame, certainly TAG has not done as well as the overall market index, which is made up of some of those higher end brands. But it's done remarkably well when you look against the backdrop of the market's general trend over the last year. So over the last year, the overall market index is down 15.9%. And over the same time period, TAG has actually risen by 5.3%. And so what are the factors that help explain, that appreciation? We can look at some of the references that, have seen some sort of appreciation over that time period, and then most of them end up being in the Monaco family. So let's just run through some of those references. The Gulf Special Edition, which comes in two variants, the one shown here, which is not currently in production, but had a last known retail price of $7,800, trades at a discount, but has appreciated 36.9% over the last 3 years. And then the same for the current production, Steve McQueen reference CAW 211P. That one, again, over the last 3 years is up 35.9%, even if it trades below retail. And then some of the more exotic versions, such as the Caliber 11 Bamford, is a limited edition and is hard to come by. So that trades at a little bit of a premium over its last known retail price. Even though it's depreciated quite a bit, it's still, over the last year, it's still trading above retail. So, this trend of limited edition or highly coveted watches, even from mid-level or lower tier brands, can trade at premiums over retail. The overall Monaco index is up, and then also the TAG index, of course, is also up. But if we compare them side by side, the Monaco index over the last year has gained 20.8%. And so the overall TAG Heuer market index, which is composed of mostly Monaco references, that sort of helps explain why the overall market index has risen as much as it has. And what we know, again, from seeing Max Verstappen and also Sergio Perez, they're wearing Monacos every time they're out on track. And if the projections for how Max Verstappen's career over the next 4 years or 5 years that he still has remaining on his contract for Red Bull are going to go, then he is going to end up racking up some serious records still and continuing to just absolutely dominate the rest of the field as long as he has the car under him, it seems like. In Formula One, there are no prizes for second place. It is the winner or the champion that receives all of the glory and the attention and adoration. And by association, some of that sheen does, at least where some of these Monacos are concerned, that have gained, upwards of 30% of their value over the last 3 years, do seem to be positively impacted by that association. And so if we look at the last known listing for, again, Max Verstappen's limited edition chronograph, that sold at $1,300, which is straight up half off of retail. But if Max is going to continue on this sort of trajectory for the next few years, will these watches still be trading at a discount, or are we going to see these 1,300 pieces or whatever is available of them on the market start to creep up in value? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching.